Good afternoon, traders. This is Michael James with Uncharted Profits Daily. We've got another fantastic trade setup for you today, this time on CrowdStrike Holdings, which took out its minor bullish trend yesterday when it closed below its minor bullish trend line. You can find that trend line by starting here at the June 9th low and drawing a line connecting as many lows as possible on the way up. As you can see, CrowdStrike definitely closed below that trend line yesterday, in addition to closing below the 10 and 20-day moving averages. But before we get into the specifics as to why this is such a nice bearish reversal setup, first I want to show you something that's been going on with the SPY that may intrigue short-term bears. Okay, so here's the SPY, which closed moderately lower yesterday. This is the S&P 500 ETF. It bounced off the upper Keltner channel before doing so, though. That's the blue line at the top of the chart here. And typically when the SPY runs into the upper Keltner band or upper Keltner channel and then closes significantly lower the following day, that's a kind of formation that precedes bearish moves for the SPY. The last time this happened here, well, first let me draw this trend line to show you what I'm talking about. You can see that the SPY took out its trend line. We start at the low here, June 1st, connecting as many lows as possible, and certainly the SPY took out that trend. But the last time it did this, we go back here all the way to February 2nd, 2023, back here. And so here we had the SPY run into the upper Keltner band, followed by a close below this candlestick low the next day on the 3rd, right here. And then, after doing so, the SPY took out its minor bullish trend. You can draw the line there. It did that back here on February 9th before eventually racing significantly lower through March 13th before it hit the lower Keltner band before rallying higher. And so this may not be a good enough of a signal to trade on, or at least doesn't seem that way considering the SPY doesn't do this very often. However, when it does happen, it does tend to precede big moves. That's why even with stocks cooling off here over the last few days after rallying so strongly, bearish setups still make sense. I know I said that before, but that's still the case considering stocks are so overbought still, relatively speaking, long-term here, moderate term, as the markets may be starting a new trend lower. Okay, and one last thing before we take a look at the CrowdStrike trade, I did want to remind you that the methodology I'll be using here to look at this stock is the same methodology I use when making my Uncharted Profits Daily alert recommendations, which are sent out every day after the market closes with specific entry prices on the chart. Maybe even for CrowdStrike if you sign up fast enough for this evening. In order to receive those alerts, all you have to do is click the link in the description below. You'll be taken to this webpage here. Click this button, hand-delivered free daily trade alerts. Fill out this information and then click Get Free Alerts Now. And the next alert that comes out will come straight to your inbox. Okay, so back to CrowdStrike. Like I said, it took out its minor bullish trend here in addition to setting a double top. You can see that here. We've got the top back here from May 31st relative to the high or other half of the double top here from Friday, June 16th. Now, if you watched our other video on CrowdStrike, you know this was actually a bullish continuation setup we looked at. CrowdStrike took out its minor bearish trend last week when it closed above its minor bearish trend line. You can find that trend line by starting at the high here from May 31st and drawing a line down connecting the highs. It closed above it back here on June 13th and then triggered a bullish trade right around here on the chart. Right there around 157.19 before rising and then summarily falling over the last few sessions. And while that may be frustrating, it's also the kind of thing that our methodology is equipped to handle. Not every continuation trade is going to work out, and really this is about jumping on the big trends that emerge. And so what we have here now is a bearish reversal trend off a double top, which is a classic technical reversal formation that we're seeing here before our eyes on a stock that is moving and trading quite deliberately, which we can tell by looking at the 3-day moving average, this red line moving up and down the chart, which really isn't moving up and down above the 10-day moving average, the purple line on the chart, too much. It crosses a few times here, but that kind of thing is normal during a double top bearish reversal. Otherwise, it's been moving pretty deliberately, not a lot of crosses, staying above the 10. We've got some deliberate movement, which we love to see on a strong trending stock. Finally, we have a reading on the stochastic indicator at 59.42. I like to see readings above 40 for bearish reversals. If you watch my other videos, you know I've explained this before, but I'll do it again. Any reading below 20 would be considered oversold. A lot of traders won't take trades below 20 on bearish setups like this, but they will take trades below 40 as long as they're still above 20 on the stochastic indicator. For me, that's not enough. I like to see stochastic indicator readings that are higher, above 40. This certainly passes that threshold, that requirement, which means this is a valid bearish setup. Doubly so because we have this great double top here and even bearish divergence on the stochastic indicator. We've got actually a slightly higher high. For all intents and purposes, this is a double top. But on this high here compared to this high, it is slightly higher, even though the stochastic indicator is showing a high here relative to a lower high right here. That is bearish divergence big time, hinting at a big move lower off of this high. And so those are all great reasons why you may want to consider a bearish trade on this setup somewhere beneath the June 20 low, below the 10, below the 20-day moving average, somewhere around here. And remember, if you'd like to receive specific entry prices for these trades, specifically CrowdStrike, which is going out soon, all you need to do is click the link in the description below. You'll be taken to this webpage. Click this button here, fill out this information, and click Get Free Alerts now. I send these out every day the markets are open with my #1 trade alert for the day. All right, traders, I hope you enjoyed that setup we looked at here on CrowdStrike. I wish you all good trading, and I'll see you next time. This is Michael James with Uncharted Profits Daily.